YouTuber who's leading the way. Yeah. He's got a passion for all things nerdy. Dungeons and Dragons, his world's not blurry. From comics to movies, he's got it all. He's an Outpost nerd living in a geeky world with his lightsaber shining. He's a Star Wars swerve through galaxies and adventures. He'll take you there, take you there. He's an Outpost nerd, no one can compare. Nerd power. Yeah, he's the king of nerds.
What's up, my nerd geeks and dweebs, and welcome to another transmission from the Outpost Nerd. I am the nerd of the Outpost, and I hope everyone is having a great evening and a great day, just a great life right now. I've noticed I haven't live streamed as much as I should. Hey, Beautifully, got my first guest in the chat. Say hi, everybody. Hey, Beautifully, thanks for being here. I just thought I'd come shoot the shit, talk about things that have been on my mind for the past few months, really. I've been going through some ups and downs, and thought I'd just come on and share what's going on. There we go. See my beautiful robotic self on here. So just shoot the shit on a rainy Saturday night. It's been raining down here in the so-called Sunshine State, at least my part of it, for about 4 or 5 days now. Had to cancel. We usually have the Christmas parades, local Christmas parades around here, and they got canceled and postponed. Gotta get my soda, my go-go juice. I gotta watch my girlish figure, so I have to drink diet. And I know this is probably the worst stuff for it. Oh, I'm good. Almost overflowed. But I know when to stop. But let's. There we go. So I've been thinking about stuff a lot, and I said, greetings from atop the Fortress of the Man on Q2. What's up, my dude? Been going on his Q2 stream a couple of times past 2 weeks. Having a great time over there. Check him out. Greetings back from the asteroid transmission hub of the Outpost Nerd. But I saw something today that kind of bothered me. And I know that there are some guys like this. I have my own issues. They've held me back, but they're my issues. I don't blame a woman, or I don't blame anyone else for my issues but myself. But I saw this really stupid and disgusting little animation on Instagram, and I wish I could find it. It was captured how men want to be treated in 2025, and it had a woman just like doing everything for a man, bathing them, carrying them, and it's the most disgusting, insane thing I ever saw. I don't know where this comes from. I don't need a woman to serve me, to baby me. I need a woman to be there for me, to support me, to cheer for me, to be a comfort when I've had a bad day, just like I could be for them. This whole, men are just big babies that need to be coddled. It's the stupidest bullshit I've ever heard. I want to be there to support someone just like I want her to support me. That's not bad. But you get these guys who expect their wives to be their mothers. That ain't how it's supposed to be, sunshine. Man up, grow a set, and start supporting your household. Start being the leader that God calls the man to be. God calls the man to be the leader of the household, the supporter. Now, this whole I've been seeing these gender pieces of propaganda for the most part for the past few weeks. And it's got me really disheartened. I don't understand this. It's gone from a battle of the sexes to almost all-out war. And both sides play dirty. Both sides break the Geneva Conventions. A man, at least in my... Yes, this has started with the destruction of the nuclear families, done so by the courts. Out of if a man is taken, if a couple goes into the family courts for anything, let me see. I brought the I'll share this. Google says with the exact percentage vary, statistics suggest women are awarded primary child custody more often, with estimates ranging from 65 to potentially 90% in contested cases. Though many sources point out this often reflects mothers being the primary caretakers and agreeing to it, not inherent court biases, with courts generally favoring the best interest of the child. Okay. Sometimes the best interest of the child is not with the mother, it's with the father. And I'm betting I've run some people off with this conversation, but it's a conversation I've been thinking of for a while. That's good stuff. I drink too much Diet Coke. If I could lose the Diet Coke, I'd probably lose 50 pounds with it. I saw a video of a naval seaman being taken to court for abandonment because he didn't contact his child for 6 months. I don't know if this is real or not, but it turned out in this little video, he was on a submarine for 6 months and could not contact her, and the ex-wife was taking him to court over abandonment. I've come to realize, I think that people it's not that people aren't nice anymore. They're more scared now to do anything for anybody because they'll be taken to court. How many times have you heard that of a person feeding the homeless and being shut down or taken to court or arrested because they were just giving out food, and they claimed that, oh, you can't do that because you're not following health and safety regulations. Like, I could not go into my kitchen, make 3 or 4 dozen sandwiches, ham, cheese, mayonnaise, white bread, wrap them up and pass them out because I would be technically in violation of health and safety regulations. People are more. I was driving down the road today. I went to got some pizza for lunch, and it was raining. I saw a woman walking down the road in the rain. And I thought to myself, oh, I should stop. No, my first thought was I should stop and help her out, pick her up, give her a ride. Then my second thought immediately after was no, because she could say something. She could lie. So with people lying more and are just so happy, people don't want to help anymore. People don't want to help each other anymore. And how much better would the world be if we just helped each other a little more? I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I lost my job back in early 1st of October. And it is complete and utter insanity. Why? My job, I was a one-on-one teaching assistant to a blind student in one of the worst schools. Yeah, a man saved a teenager, I believe he was, saved a young man from drowning, and his parents sued the guy. I remember a few years ago, back in mid-20 teens, a man at one of the restaurants in my town was choking to death. And this guy there was a medical student. He tried to the Heimlich and he couldn't dislodge the obstruction. So what he did, he relied on his training. He did a tracheotomy. He got a knife from the kitchen, sterilized it, and did like with the kind of like the MacGyver thing. He did a trach with a straw and saved the young man's life. The cops wanted to charge him, wanted to bring up charges on him, and the family of the victim that he saved had to step in and tell them no. That is utterly insane to me. Like, if I was at a pool and a child was drowning and I just stood there, like, dude, I just twiddled my thumbs as the kid drowned in the deep end with in front of me, I could be charged for that. But if I jumped in, took the kid out and started Heimliching him, giving him the Heimlich or being CPR, I could be charged for that. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't in a lot of these instances. And it's utterly the most stupid thing. But getting back to my work incidents, I was a one-on-one para for a blind kid. He was doing great. Loved working with him. Smart kid, funny. He just happened to be blind and needed someone to be with him at all times. I didn't get hired. School started mid-August in my town. I didn't get hired till mid-September. And the school was breaking federal law. Exactly. That is another reason we've seen the outcome of those things. The Ukrainian woman in Nashville, was it Nashville in Tennessee, that got killed? No one stood there. People just sat there and watched as her killer walked off. While she was bleeding out, no one stood to help her because they knew they could be charged if something happened. Because we saw it. We saw the insane, dumbass, backwards things going on, and it's all out of New York. Holy shit, New York's going to be a cesspool, even more so in the next couple of years. But me and this kid, I walked him to every class of his. In the class, I told them, one, I was not qualified to work with this kid. I told them, I went in, I applied for a regular paraprofessional job, regular teaching assistant. That meant I would be given a schedule. You go to these class, help these kids. But no, they were desperate. They needed someone because legally they were breaking federal regulation by this kid not having a para with him. They were breaking the law. So I go in for my interview, say, hey, we're going to hire you for this regular para job. But then as I was waiting to be onboarded, they say, oh, we're desperate. We need somebody. Will you do that? I said, I will do this until you find someone more qualified. I'm not qualified to work with a special needs child like this. And he was a great kid. This was 7th grade, by the way. This was at my middle school, the middle school I went to. And we went to his classes, but his math class was the worst class. This teacher from France, they had 2 teachers of this that taught this kind of math. One was from China, the other was from France. My kid could not understand them at all. And I had problems understanding her. She had zero classroom discipline. These kids would run amok. So day 2 or 3, all of a sudden, I'm up at the front. My kid and I set up the front. I feel something hit me. It's a quarter. And I tell these kids, I said, I don't care if you hit me, but if anyone hits my kid, we will be going up to the office and you will be regretting it. And the teacher sat there like a dumbass frog on a... She'd already surrendered like the rest of the French. It is utterly ridiculous, the lack of classroom discipline she had. And I had to ask her, I said, can you do something? She's like, well, it's not going to do anything. She said, it's not going to do anything. I can't do a French accent. I'm not even going to try. I can't do anything because it doesn't work. I said, I'm thinking, it doesn't work. I told her, I said, it doesn't work because you're not doing it. So October 1st, we're sitting in front of math again, in front of the math class again. This time it's a pencil. The kids are all doing a worksheet. And the teacher is finally, after a month, sitting down and working with my kid. I'm dyscalculia. I never got to this level of math. This is like algebra 1 or algebra 2. I don't remember. I never got through pre-algebra. I'm dyscalculia. I was always in ESE math. And all of a sudden something hits me. It's a pencil. And I said something again, but this time the teacher got up and started marching around the classroom saying something. She found the one kid without a pencil and a half-done worksheet. It was him. And she gets on to him, and he starts mouthing off and says, you never gave me a pencil. It's not our place. It's not a teacher's or staff's place to make sure you come to class prepared. And I told him that. And he's like, well, you need to shut up. No one's talking to you. I said, if you want to stop being a little punk, you and I can work on this and make this relationship work, and I can help you. He looked at me and says, shut up or I'll have my daddy come and kill you. Kill me. He said he was going to have me killed. I looked at the teacher. I said, okay. The teacher said, I'll be right back. I went, in fact, I got the principal. The principal had actually even been in the class 15 minutes earlier, sitting in, making sure everything was okay. He was doing one of his little reviews, whatever you call them, when a teacher, assessments, I guess. I don't know. I don't give a flying fuck. But I went and got him. I said, this kid just starting to kill me. I wrote down what happened. And the next day, the kid was gone. But the next day, me and my blind kid, we're going through our day. We're he had passed 2 of his tests in 2 of his classes that earlier that day, and we were rocketed on his short story for English. We were having a great day. We were in the library actually working on his essay, because it was band class. The band class had a substitute, so he and I. The band director said, "Hey, why don't y'all just go down to the library and work?" We're like, "Oh, that's perfect. We got work to do." I got called in, and I was fired. I got fired. It was 100% retaliation for reporting the kid, because the teacher or the principal, who's an autistic asshole, piece of shit, was not. Okay, in Florida, you have 90-day probationary period, where a right to work at will state, I think that's what it's called, right, where an employee can fire you within 90 days for nothing. He said, and I quote, "I didn't like how you were talking to the kids." I said, "Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely," and this is what I said to him, word for word. I said, "Are you insane? They gaslight us. They yell at us. They threaten us, and you're worried about how we talk to them in return? You deserve all the problems you're getting." These principals, they do not want to punish kids anymore, because when you write up a kid, it's put on record against, and the school board wants those records of disciplines low, so it looks good to the state. And you know what? I'm not the only person that is dealing with, in our district, that is dealing with retaliations like this. I'm not the only one who has been threatened. I had a coworker last year who was literally picked up by a student and beaten against the wall, and the district refused to do anything. She was the ISS teacher. That's in school suspension, detention, basically. This big kid, he's like 6.5 foot tall, 8th grader. You know, it's like, holy shit, what steroids did your parents take when you were born? And he has a problem with another kid, so she has him stand outside, but she has to stand in the doorway because she cannot leave her ISS room unattended. And he tries to break back, he tries to get in, grabs her out of the doorway and picks her up and starts beating her, to the point that one of our basketball coaches had to come out and rescue her. She comes to school the next day with a dislocated shoulder and a broken arm. Or not dislocated shoulder. Her arm was in a sling because of a dislocated shoulder. And the district didn't do anything about it. For the first 90 days, yes. But the dumbass gave me a reason. He told me the reason. If he would have kept his mouth shut. But there's no fucking, it creates a cesspool of retaliation, firing. It creates a stagnant workforce in the fact that they don't have to tell you, so you don't have any way to improve, so you don't have any way to learn how you screwed up, so you don't repeat your issues next time. This is just to cover their ass. Their employers ask for illegal actions. And I spoke to the head of HR. That bitch can rot in hell for all I care. She said to me, "Well, this isn't the first time you've been 90 days, so maybe it's you." I said, "I don't fucking know. I don't know because you don't have to tell me." She said, "Well, that's the law." I said, "Yeah, and it's against the law to threaten someone's life too, but you don't seem to be caring about that." I sent a letter to the entire school board. A school board who has a member who I am friends with, I went to church with. And I even spoke to one of the news reporters and never heard anything back from her. They don't fucking care. They don't care about the abuse. They don't care about the low grades. Do you know in Florida, a student cannot fail a grade more than twice? You could fuck around for 2 years and not fail and not be held back anymore. A teacher, when they give a kid an F, a failing grade in the class, they have to go before the administration, basically a review board, and justify their reasoning. I had a kid yelling at me last year, and I took him up to the office. And from one side of the school to the other, where the office was, he's yelling at me, screaming at me. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever, go keep going. He's recording me, which is a felony. And you know what? When I told the principal, that's because I found out about that he was recording me the next day because one of his friends, who was a girl who I worked with in another class and I had helped a lot, let it slip that he was recording me. So I went up I called the fucking union rep, who was one of my coworkers at school, and I told her what was going on. There's no accountability. There's no accountability in any level of our society anymore. It is utterly ridiculous. Hold on. It is utterly ridiculous that accountability has become a taboo. It, like, any way, shape, or form. Oh, excuse me. And it's because the parents have the administration and school board so scared now because, like I said earlier, everyone's so sue happy. Everyone's like, oh, not my child, the perfect little angel. No, well, Lucifer was a fucking angel too. What flavor? I'll only excuse you from the chat, Q2, depending on what flavor. But it's utterly ridiculous. The school system is made to dumb down your children. And the way these kids have acted that I have dealt with the past 3-4 years working the school system has made me all right. Not the best. Fancy smancy ice cream. But the way the system now is, it's just dealing with these kids has made me think, do I really want children one day if they have to deal with people like this? Because I wouldn't want my niece around some of these kids that I work with. And some of them were great. Some of them were some of the smartest, sweetest kids I've ever met. Don't think I'm bad-mouthing all of them, but some of them were outright horrible monsters. I had one girl who she did beads. She did bead work for her, her stimming was her beadwork. And she made bracelets, necklaces, all sorts of amazing jewelry. And she was one of the gay kids, and I didn't care. I didn't give two shits. She showed me respect, so I showed her respect. And she made me a little black and yellow bracelet. She's like, here's it's for you. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Great. Thank you so much. And I showed it to my coworker. She's like, oh, amazing. Great. You've been accepted by the gay kids. I'm like, oh, cool. I had one kid. A lot of kids now don't. Haagen-Dazs ain't ice cream. Haagen-Dazs is frozen yogurt. I know there's not many choices anymore. I don't buy Ben and Jerry's anymore. I don't eat much ice cream. I usually get like the grocery store kind. I used to love like the Ben and Jerry's it was the chocolate ice cream, but it had like um chocolate brownies and like love Moose Track. Moose Track is one of my favorites where you have the vanilla, then you have like the chocolate chocolate fudge with peanut butter and stuff. That's one of my favorites, but it's I did have some really great kids that I loved working with that I hope one day grow up and achieve everything. But there are some that were so smart, but they were so violent and so they didn't give a shit about the rules. And it's like I would look at them and think that so much wasted potential. And it sucked. Because you want to be there to help them. You want to be there to see them succeed. I worked at a elementary school with ESC kids. And I remember we were doing math. And I think it was because I was teaching them the way I knew, which was the old way, not this Common Core bullshit. We were doing whole numbers multiplied by fractions. It's like 2 times 3/4. All you got to do is put 2 over 1 and it makes it look like a fraction. It helps you with that. That's how I always did it. I pictured it. And then you just multiply across. Well, this one 4th grader, I believe, she was having issues. She could not get it. And I could see it in her eyes. She was just getting more and more frustrated. And I just said to her, I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I said, we're going to take a break, you and I'm going to go and check on the other kids, make sure they're getting their work done. We'll come back. Don't do any work. Just take a break. Because I've learned from my own experience that if you're doing something, you get frustrated and you're not going to succeed no matter what you do. It's just not, you can't force it. And I could see that's what was happening with her. So I went and I was gone for about 10 minutes and I come back and she has the whole worksheet done and I checked the work and it's done correctly. And I just started praising her and she gets this biggest smile and I could see it had finally clicked. And that was one of the best moments in my, so I did, it wasn't all bad. It just ended badly. Like most of the things that I do, I try to work on. And no one cared throughout these past 2 months that I had my life threatened. No one gave 2 shits about that. The kid who threatened my life, he got it like a 2 or 3 day vacation when he should have been arrested. He got away with it. And because none of the staff, none of the teachers, none of the administrators want to support staff, like teachers' aid, paras, when something happens. They don't come to my district specifically, we're short-staffed and no one wants to sub. And they wonder why. It's for these reasons like this. Like there was one day we were in civics class, me and my blind kid, teacher's out for the day. They have one of the other paras subbing for him. Me and the kid try to get on to the web page to do the work. Well, it's locked. We can't get it. The substitute can't unlock it. So it's getting louder and louder and louder. The kids are getting rowdier and rowdier and rowdier. And I could see my kid, he was getting overwhelmed. So I go to the sub. The sub is someone I had worked with in other classes. So and my kid had worked with her. So she knew. I said, I'm going to take him outside. And we went outside, talked, did some work. And then all of a sudden, the eyesight specialist of the school comes out and says, what's he doing out of school class this long? He can't be out here. I said, I have permission. Well, you can't do that. Don't do that again. And I went up to the administrator. I said, who do I work for? You or her? He said, me. I said, well, someone needs to tell her that. I said, I got him out of a bad situation where we could not do any work, went out to a place where we did some work. And I got chastised for that? No. When I got fired, I'd come to her with problems like, hey, how do I do this with him? Because, she had worked with him for years since he got into school, because she works with kids of all ages that are blind. And she's like, well, you just need to go to the principal. So I went to the principal about me, like she suggested, when I got threatened, and it got me fired. So I texted her, said, thank you. Doing what you suggested got me fired. I hope our kid has a great life. Goodbye. It's so stupid. The school system is broken. I went to this school from 99 to 2001 or 2. I can never remember. 2002, yes. 2000. Yes, 2002, because I was in 8th grade at that school when 9/11 happened. But so it's like 24 years later, I was doing the same thing on 9/11 that I did back then, getting up, getting ready to go to the same school, and exactly doing the same thing. I could take you to the exact spot where I heard the news. And I even asked this principal during the interview, I said to him, I've had some issues with discipline and reporting it. How if I reported something, I'd have your back. Bullshit. So that's what I've been going through. I went to the moment I was fired, I was on the phone with the union rep. And then within a week, I was talking to a lawyer. And they didn't do anything. They could not care less. I have a cousin who's a teacher at another school. She said the abuse, the neglect from the administration has gotten so bad. She's quitting. She's not going to go back next year. But then come July, August, the district will be posting on Facebook how desperate they are for I'm surprised that the number's that low. I'm honestly surprised the number's that low, Q2. But so that's what I've been dealing with. I've tried everything I could think of to get people to acknowledge the situation. But no one wants to. So, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. Let's see. I've been spending some free time writing, trying to figure out stuff. I've been trying to get back onto to a D&D game. I'd like to get back to a D&D table. I haven't played since around the pandemic, so I came up with a couple of character ideas. And let's see. I would love to see. We're a small district. I would love to see that in my town. See what the numbers are in my town. So, getting to the nerdy stuff, I got some ideas. Um, I have one of my ideas that I really like. That if I ever play a wizard, I think this will be. It'd be a young bumbling wizard who only adventures to raise funds to pay back his student loans for wizarding school. It's like if Harry Potter had student loans. So I like that idea. The second one, a dashing knight on the run from an over-obsessed princess who he once saved and now thinks he is her one true love when all he wants to do is adventure and kill things. I like that idea. I think that would be a fun either knight or paladin. Or a fighter or a paladin. I'm not sure which one. Or in third one is a zoologist druid who, while on an expedition, fell into the Feywild and returned with powers to wild shape. I like making characters who aren't kind of the traditional kind. Like this guy, he was raised up in like mid to high society, and then becomes a druid due to some happenstance. This one I thought was really funny. A barbarian who played too many sports and took too many head injuries. Like this could play up and give a reason to the dumb barbarian. I hit hard. Path of the Berserker Barbarian. This one I really like. A armorer artificer who is secretly a goblin inside the armor. You would have this like big giant power armor who helps the village, who everyone loves. But when he's alone, out crawls from the helmet, like control panel, a goblin. This one is one of my older ones that I wanted to write down. A warforged that woke up in an abandoned lab with psychic powers. It could be a Psi Knight or a fighter. Here's my number 7, a reborn Death Domain cleric. He served as a medic on a long-forgotten battlefield and was recently resurrected. I think that could be either Death Domain or a warlock kind of cleric. Here's one I like. A serial killer that poses as the investigator of his own crimes to put people off the trail. This one kind of hits like close to home, since a water druid who'd rather be surfing than on his quest. Here's one I like that I really like that I hope to play. A Jinn patron warlock who was adopted by his patron and who's more like a father to him. So it's kind of like he's the enforcer for his father. And the last, a shadow magic sorcerer of the reborn who died in battle but was brought back to life due to a connection to the Shadowfell he doesn't understand. So I've come up with 11 so far. I'm going to figure out more, but I thought I'd build one of them. I do a thing on, I'm thinking, let's do the zoologist druid on Hero Forge. What I do, I love making minis on Hero Forge. So let's bring that up. Let's see, here we go. Let's bring you to full screen. If you can see, I've been twiddling around with it a little bit. So we're going to do the zoologist druid. Let's see. We're going to start off with race. Let's make him... I keep him as human. Check out the body. This is what I love about it. This website has so many options, and then you can. It's called kit bashing, where you can take the options and do even more changes to it. See, all this is every single item, and you have shapes. So let's see. Let's get rid of the facial hair. There we go. I like this. I like this. Let's try some. Let's try. No. Oh, wait. Let me try something. Mustache. No. Let's take all this off. Let's take the kit bash off. Get not I wanted. Very dashing. Let's try the hair. Slick back, maybe? No, too clean for a druid. Not receding. Okay, like that. I have an idea. Glasses. He's a scholar, so he needs glasses. No. So you got all these different. You can make banditos. Oh. Got bandit masks. Let's see. Armless glasses. I'm gonna try that. And let's go back up to hats. There's one I like that I've used before. Pit helmet. Already looks with the hair. Let's see. Here's some of this stuff is stuff I've used before. Tail. That's what I want. Yes. Huh. I don't think they know about that. That'd be something I need to report. The clipping. That's right there. It's clipping. When an item goes through another one. Let's give his helmet some horns, some animal horns. Let's see. You got all these positions, and then you got the fins and stuff. Let's see. New. No, that's what I want. No. Let's see. No, that's deer horns. What's antlers? And let's go to pose real quick. Pose, we can change the positions slightly this way. So, okay. Forward. No. Let's try this. And young buck antlers, I think, will be good. Put you down, back down. Going to kind of put them back a little bit. Like these are part of his helmet. So he's a noble. He's a noble background. So let's see. I'm going to. You have options. You have the sci-fi background here. You have the modern. You have Western. You have historical, and you have fantasy. Let's try fantasy section because there's a kind of a look that I want. This could go. Okay, I like that. And this is the undershirt section. You have undershirt section. You have overshirt section, which is the coats, jackets, kind of tops and stuff. You have shoulders, and then you have neckwear. And when it's gray like this, it means the option you have selected for the shirts won't allow you to fit these options under it. So let's see. So the one I was looking for, the bandana, doesn't work. Let's do this. I want the sash. So let's see. Let's go back. Put band. Yeah. So let's see. I'm going to go. Let's undo some things. Keep that high collar. Okay, let's check the top. No. Let's see. Undercover coat. No, I want something a little more animalistic for the top. But I want to try to keep it open so to have that chest sash. No. Let's see. No. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hide mantle would look good. Maybe. A lot of my work on here, and I've been working on Hero Forge for probably 4 or 5 years now, and a lot of my characters that I build are based off of movie characters, historical figures, and a lot of them are from my own imagination. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, the Hexweaver mantle looks good. Okay. So getting to the bottom. And I think that's gonna work for the top. Now, for the gloves. The gloves. go back to the fantasy section. And let's see. Maybe new fungi bracers. I'm going to use those. I like those. Okay, so now that we have we're working our way downtown. But let's see. Working with the pants now. Let's see. Maybe these studded survivor pants. Let's see. No. See, here we have the pants, then we have the outer layer, which is skirts, belts, outer layers of armor. And then recently they added knee pads in this section, which I really like. A lot of people were happy about that. Because a lot of times a lot of people were taking shoulder pads, which is something I need to look into adding. Shoulder pads and kit bashing and moving them to the knees for knee pads. So the thing Hero Forge does is they listen to people. They listen to a lot of people. They listen to what we like, what we want in options. So and they've actually had fans actually send in their drawings, and they've added them and given them credit. So let's try the Druid pants. I got on a nose about that. Fur trimmed. Boom, 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 boom. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Maybe a furry hybrid. Yeah, that looks good. Let's check the feet now. So everything. Should he have boots or sandals? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe just lace trim. I like that. Simple. But let's see. He's a druid, so druids might not want stuff covering their feet. One moment, be right back. To an extent, you do have subscriptions which allow you to when you sub to it, it's like $43 for the entire year. So it comes out to like $3 or $4 a month, not bad. And you have to they're free to design. What you do is you design them and then you place an order, and this company will 3D print them, paint them if you want, or you can actually buy the printing file yourself and do it that way. But and they have every Tuesday they have something new comes out, and if you're a subscriber, you get them that day. If you're not, you have to wait till the next Tuesday to get the previous week's release. And one thing they're amazing, they do an advent calendar every December. So every day during December, you get a new option. Today was a like a broken skeleton mask, kind of like Skeletor. Tony with Stark of Iron with like that. The other day was the first was the Cyclops um, race option, and yesterday was a sword slash option because when you have weapons, and we'll get to weapons and gear in a little bit, um, you have an option to put spell components on your weapons, and they add the slash. So it's not free to use, but you still have to pay if you want them. So let's go. Maybe no, that don't look good with the pants. This is all what I mean by outer. You have like belts and armor options and skirts. Maybe that might look good with. No. Let's see. And also, when we're done with this, I'm going to share a couple of my builds. I have not had a chance to look at that yet. Oh. Lag spike. Holy lag spike. Am I still on? Hold on. Dealing with some lag. Did my computer just freeze? I want to check something. Okay, so I'm still on. It's okay. It came back. Holy cow, that was a huge lag spike. That was a big old lag spike. Sorry. But I don't think it likes me being on Hero Forge and StreamYards at the same time. Let's do that again. That was a lot. I haven't seen it yet. I saw where you sent it to me earlier, Q2. But thank you for being here, Div. Appreciate it. So, okay. Maybe yeah, I like this look so far. You still have the kind of regal look to it. Need to report that. But you have the kind of the rustic look, like being out in the woods a lot. So let's see what item. Let's see. Let's check out the stats. And I will be changing some things up. Yeah. You're here. You're fine. That's fine. I'm just glad you're here. Staff or a mace? Okay, I'm going to use this. This is one of the newer items. Okay, I got an idea for what. I have an idea anyway. So what I'm going to do. What's a druid without an animal companion? So let's see. They have the rat, starfish, songbird, tiny ghost, turtle, dragon, hatching dragon, seahorse, birds, raccoon, badger, dog, cat, duck, fox. Okay, I have an idea with the hawk. Okay, pose. Let's go. Pose. Maybe, and it could be that it's been a while since I've shut down my website browser. I usually do so much, and I fall asleep here at my desk. So that might be it. I have an idea. I need to pose it. I like this pose. I'm going to. This is all where you can bend the arms and the waist and the hair, ears, and all that a little bit. When you do kick bashing, you can move them any which way. It's really, kit bashing is one of my favorite things. And let's see, change the arm a little bit. Bring this down to the ground. Okay, now you have the extra. Let's see. Okay. Kit bash. Oh yeah. You got to bash kids to get this going. Mainly, a lot of times it makes you want to bash your head in, or at least for me when I'm trying to do something and it doesn't quite work. Okay, so I have an idea. Chunky tree branch, that should work. And here's when you change the size. See, I'm making it smaller. Need to make it okay. Moving it now. See, these arrows are the up and down X, Y, and X and Y axis. Axis. So okay, almost got it. So move him up. Here's where you can rotate it. Move him. Okay, almost got him where I want him. Let's see. Reduce, make this a little longer. Maybe. Let's try the other tree branch options. No. This will be good. Just move him over a little bit more. Let's see. I want to add some things. See, I have the basic look of him now. Now I'm just kind of adding touches before. The last thing I'll do is pick colors like of his outfit. Do something. These little dots are shifting points. I can't remember what you call them when you're. Basically, I'm 3D designing these looks, and these points are where I can change the position of them. Okay, a little more down. Yeah, I like that. And what I'm going to do, you can see it pointing a little out. I'm going to add. No. Where's that at? Earring. That's what I want. I want one of the earrings. See, a lot of things you do too is you could take other items in a way to make them they're not necessarily used for. Because what I'm about to do here, let's see, I'm looking for here we go again. Looking for just give me a second. Another lag spike. I hate this computer. This is about a 5 or 6 year Lenovo compute laptop. I think 5 or 6 years old. I don't remember. So it's old. Okay. And this is why I don't stream that much, because things go wrong. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss of what to do. I'm trying, y'all. It seems like everything I try, I screw up. And see now, hold on. Let me refresh my StreamYard. See, it works fine from y'all's point of view, but from my end, it freezes up. And you were right. I did have Discord open. Maybe that'll help. I don't know how much. Let me quit. Exit Steam. I run like my antivirus at least once or every week or two, so I know it's not that. It's probably just because I've had um, uh, my internet um, up too long. So so that's why you ignore all my Discord messages during shows of me complaining about Squab or disagreeing with you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I'm gonna bring it back up. So maybe not having it on full screen will help too. So let's bring it back up because I'm almost done with this, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So uh, unless something happens, I can just say at this point, maybe Q2. Have a good evening. So what I'm gonna see, earring. I wanted an earring. That's shoulder. This is okay. So far, so good. I think also having a big screen was eating it. Okay, good, good, good. This is what I want. I wanted the feather earring kind of. Let's see, where is. I'm going to finish this up. Okay, got that. Almost. So this is part I find hard is clicking everything into place. There we go. Seems still way off. Kind of put you off kilter a little bit. See, that gives it a more like rustic look to it. And let's see. Let's. Okay, going back to my main build. Let's look and see what. This is the spell section where you can pick different spell effects, like that your character will be casting. No. Let's try this. Let's get more book to carry. Well, here's a little trick that I know of. You have an option to put them on the side, and you can arrange the hand to make it look like you're carrying. Since he is a zoologist, he needs a book, leather-bound journal. No. And what I'm going to do, go back to kit bashing. Look up book. Make this a little thicker. That's what she said. A little bigger. That's what she said. I'm going to change the hand position. Let's see. You have all these hand positions. I want one that looks like he's holding something. There we go. So I'm going to back to get this to the hand. Maybe turn that a bit. Let's see where I need to go up. Let's see. So this is what I like so much. It has kit bashing gives you so many options for positioning. So I'm going to move the fingers out best as I can. This is usually something the more clothes you have, the more kind of difficult it is to see which spot goes which point body part. Need that middle finger out a little more. Let me try this. Dang it. Oh my gosh, how deep were you fingering that book, my dude? So this, sometimes the details, there we go. We put you out a little more. Middle finger. Ah! Sometimes another angle works. Let me do something. Try. Sometimes another option works best. Or you know what? I can do that. There we go. Or let's see, what other options do I have? Kit, K-I-T. I thought you were joking. Let me see something. Okay, let's see. Dude, now time for the color. See, here are the race colors. You've got, black, brown, different shades of white. Let's see. You got green for orcs, red for demons, drow, all sorts of different colors. Let's see. Here's the one I wanted. And then here's the colors for the outfits. And what I usually do is I pick one of these and then change them a little bit. Here's what I wanted. Now this is just color for your main. Let's see. You have cloth. Here's color, the actual paint options. You have cloth, leather, plastics, metals. You have bone, skin, hair, grass, rock, wood, fire, crystal, glass, eyes, and then you have customs. I have a few custom colors that I have played around with. This is how I decompress. This is what I love doing. When we're done with him, I will show you. I have hundreds and hundreds of different builds. Sig, what's up? This is a druid. I have a list of character ideas. This is a zoology druid, hence the book with his little hawk familiar. I love playing characters that kind of come not from different places, from unique places. Like one of my wizard ideas is a young wizard who is adventuring to raise funds of gold to pay back his student loans from wizarding school. I play D&D 5e. I tried reading 4th edition, which got me nothing but headaches. But when 5th edition came out, 5th edition, not 5.5. I haven't had a chance to play 5.5, but from what I read, they've changed a lot of stuff. So I'm always a D&D Forgotten Realms nerd. I love the Forgotten Realms. I played a video game called Neverwinter for 10 years. Came out in 2013, and I played it up till like 23, 24. And kind of, but I've been reading the Forgotten Realms book since the 90s. Ed Greenwood, Elminster. A lot of people say that, but 5e was good for people who with no experience like me. 5e really opened the door for a lot of people who wanted to play but didn't understand the rules. It really streamlined them. So let's see. I'm going to add a little more brown. And maybe I like that. Okay, oh, that's right. He needs a bag on the side. Let's see. Let's go a hand stitch bag. I think that works for him. And I will pose that a little more up. Oh, down. I didn't want it down. Kind of off to the side a little bit. Forward. Out and up. So that way, what did I miss? Okay, so now I'm going to do the leave. Okay, I like the different colors that represent the different, and the berries here. And the thing I like about too, you don't have to keep going back to the paint section. If you have another color used here, you have this a little eyedropper. Oh, you mean the viewer number? Yeah, it never works for me. So I'm going to, yeah. So let's go to the extra. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. So it's pretty. Oh, I want to do something else. Oh, go back to the main. Let's see. Color those a little bit into the helmet. So here is our druid. And the thing I love about being a subscriber is you can create different little scenes with your character. So what I do is I come in here. This is the share option. You can remove the base But then you have backdrops, which are uh, pre-created things, but you have other options too. So let's put them in just the forest. Okay. Let's check the light. So there he is. Little fun build. There are some times where I've gone really complex and used kit bashing to make all sorts of crazy things. But this is a kind of relative simple build. Fun, I think. I like it. I've always wanted to play Druid. There's a lot of different classes you could play, but I'm going to save him. And I will show you my gallery. I have a crap ton. Let's see. I hope they load up. Here's, as you can see, let me go. Just go to created. And so a lot of these are, here's one I like. Here's another one I like that I created recently. This was one of my options on my list from earlier. The dashing knight being chased by. Let me do something. Let's stop sharing and see if it loads. But this allows me to really get my creative frustrations out. Like when I'm mad or I've had a bad day, I come onto this website and just create. I've never really bought anything other than the subscription. And one thing it does when I'm writing, it helps me to visualize my characters. And I come on here and create my characters. Here's one I made yesterday of one of my characters that I plan on playing one day. You can see the crazy princess in her, like she wants him bad. And another option that you have that I really didn't get into in our Druid build was you can change your expressions. They have so many expressions. You can see here, you got the kind of crazy. I should have made her more bug-eyed. Oh, that'd be a good little edit I can do. Let me do that real quick. Go to her. It's under pose. You have face, and you have options. Here is like the full facial options. You have eyebrow options, and here's the eye options. Let's see. Let me zoom into her face. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And you see when you come over here, it actually highlights around your seat. I'm at the lower eyelid. You can see almost where it highlights that option. So this is one build I made, and I think it'd be so fun to play the night. Like every so often, it'll give your dungeon master options like, hey, roll a stealth check, and if you succeed, she walks past you or something. You can see. And another thing, you can add details. I added like kind of a dirty look to her dress, like maybe she's been running through the woods trying to find him, and the look of shock on his face, like, oh my god, I gotta run for it. But I make a lot of these characters. One of the old ones that I particularly love, which was one of my first characters. I mentioned him on the channel before. I think this is him. Yeah, well, yeah. If you're a subscriber, you have to be subscribed, Sig. Um, here is one of my. This is my first build. Save the changes I made. Um, this was a halfling assassin rogue that I absolutely loved. His name was Colvin the Twin. I absolutely love this character. He was a halfling assassin rogue. You could, and he saw his job as an assassin. You can, yeah, I've named all of them. Yeah, you have options. You can do any in D&D. You can do anything, Div. I've I've named them. I've even created myself and added put myself in these character designs. Yeah, I was just doing that, Div, building them in real time. Yeah, that's what we spent the last 45 minutes doing. This one, as you can tell, it has the update old head. So this is an early version 1 character. You build, you can design, and then you can order them. You can order them in resin, high density plastic. Let's check. Let's look at the buy section. Yeah, buy. You can have ooh, this is new. You can have acrylic keychains. You can buy them in steel. Steel's like the pricier one. You can color plastic. This one is like the big action figure. What you have to do, Dave, to do that, you can order the printing file. You have to pay for the printing file. Here's one, color statues, or you can get them premium plastic, regular plastic, or bronze. Or here's the download or the 3D digital. So it has plenty of options. But Colvin is one of my favorite characters that I ever played. Hey, no problem. I think they'd probably enjoy this free advertisement that I give them. Colvin saw his services not unlike the blacksmith or a baker in a community. He saw assassination as something necessary. So what he would do, and I found myself playing him in a way that he'd get into your head. This was my first time ever getting to sit down and play. I played the video games, read the books, but I never got to sit down. And what it was, he was part of a group that was hired to hunt down a group of heroes. And he played mind games with them. I found him the most. That was the first version of Colvin. I have made, turns out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versions of this character. Here's the one that I liked that we played in the game, where in this game, it was called The Hunting of Vox Machina. Vox Machina is the campaign hero group of Critical Role. It was a young DM. We played over Discord. He'd have each session be maybe a year or two apart in time, and we all had the option to have partners or pets or companions. What I did, you have a full mount section, Sig. Let's see. I will show you that in a minute. Let me here is Colvin. he's a halfling assassin rogue, so he's small and chunky like me. Loves eating. He would take trophies. And what he did is he had a shield guardian, which is basically kind of like a golem almost, but not a different kind of um, automaton. And I named him Andre, like Andre the Giant. His name was Colvin the Twin, my character, because he carried twin blades. And he loved taking trophies. He loved eating. See, there he is with his trophies. Speaking of horses, Sig, they have a horse person, which is a reverse centaur. But they have under stage, you have ride, and you have wheelchairs, seats, you have motorcycles, you have Clydesdale nightmares, unicorns, a giant slug, snail, bear. You have all sorts of options. You have griffin, which is one of my favorites, a massive ram, rafter, warg, lion, all sorts of mounts and stuff. And they don't have much in the way of horse or like mount armor yet, which is something that us in the community have been kind of speaking for. So that's Colvin in the beginning. And here I'll share. Let me get that. I'll share Colvin at the end of our campaign. Our campaign lasted about. Oh yeah, you can do that in the. Yeah, you can. You have that option too. You can have it to where you're like leading the horse. Here is Colvin at the end. I'll bring that up when it loads. So what we did is we got about half of this party. We killed about half of this party until our druid had to cast blight on. We were infiltrating the city where they lived and ruled, and our druid had to cast blight on their holy tree in the middle of the city, which alerted the entire city guard, which were riflemen, because in this our target was actually a artificer who created guns in this world and ruled a town and gave his guard rifles. So this is Colvin by the end of the campaign. Yeah. He had his head blown off by the artificer. Because when our druid got us caught, we were fighting like 20 riflemen, a level 20 ranger, a level 20 artificer, and like a level 16 paladin and warlock. So at one point, after like 4 hours, it was me and another player. Our DM looked at us and said, "There's mathematically no way you can win," which was true. So the artificer, okay, what had happened was he'd always, at the start of every session, he'd say, "Okay, it's been a year. What has your character done in this year?" And we tell him. So what I would do, what Colvin did, he infiltrated the castle posing as the Lady Ranger's butler, because her and the artificial were married, and she was like the lady of the castle. But he used like a magic mask and disguise kit, and during the fight, he reveals who he is. So he would always get into the enemy's head, which I hope and pray to God that I get to play him again. I hope to come back. And he got his head blown off by the artificer, the rifleman. But I love D&D. I love creating. Let me show you one of my other favorite characters. My favorite class is the monk, the Kung Fu monk. And I have one who is a drunken, Way of the Drunken Fist monk, who is a Goliath, who is a half giant. Goliaths are like the giant kin. They're like descended from giants. They don't get along with dwarves. And what I decided, I think this is the one I want. Dothak was a unique Goliath, and he wasn't like bodybuilder, like bulky, like muscular. Dothak was lean like a runner. His story is, that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Is that as a newborn, guys, it's been a time, my dude. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Oh yeah, I'll bring up mine, and I'm gonna explain to him. I love this character. Oh my god! And I got a story from the time I got to play him in a campaign that just it is freaking awesome. So let me bring him up. Okay, this is my Dothak, the drunken master monk. Just chugging away. It's like, hold on, I got to take a drink. He's so much fun. He was so much fun to play. His backstory was, as a baby, he was kind of discarded from his tribe. Basically, kind of like 300 style, left to die because he wasn't worth it. But what happened, he got lucky. He was found by this dwarf couple who were not a normal couple. Normal dwarves, I should say. His dwarven father was a cleric in his clan who made the quote-unquote holy water. Basically, he was a brewer. He made the dwarf holy water. His mother was a fighter. She fought with her fist. So Dothak, being raised by small people, he would sometimes forget that he's not a dwarf, and I would play him like he would run into things like Gandalf in Bag End. Like he'd hit his head on something, but he took his father's knowledge of alcohol and his mother's fighting and kind of blended them in together and used it kind of his own fighting style. And he was so much fun to play. There was one time we were fighting pirates, and one of them pulls out a pistol. Yeah, I thought that this is my proudest character, the one I'm most proud of. I need to see about updating him with the recent updates to Hero Force. He used a katana, and I might need to change that. You can see I used a smoke. This is actually a smoke spell effect. That I think I have another hand hidden. Yeah, and I can change that. That shows you how and I colored it kind of an alcohol color to make it look like he was just dribbling. And he's telling his opponent, hold on. Dothak's got a drink. He's got to get something to drink. He's a little parched. And he's got his other barrels. But back to my story. We were in Faerun, Forgotten Realms, and we were on a ship, and we were fighting pirates. Pirates had come onto our ship. And the best thing about monks in general, they have this mechanic called deflect missiles, where if a missile, like an arrow, is thrown, you can roll for damage reduction and catch it. But if you reduce the damage, and if you reduce that damage to 0, you could throw it back at your opponent. And I asked my DM, does um, magic missile, deflect missile, catch missile, deflect missile? Did I say magic missile? Magic missile is one of the best spells in the game, but he said yes. So I rolled it to 0. And what I did is I role played it like Dothak, caught it in his teeth like Ace Ventura, and spit the bullet back at the bandit who shot it at me. And the bandit was, oh, I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. I got to mute for a second. Can't. It's right there back to my nose. But the bandit was hurt so bad that I killed it by spitting a bullet at it. And it was one of my favorite moments. But the greatest moment I had with this character, we were on a desert island, and we had a warforged barbarian who had an instant tower. And he had a habit of throwing the tower at enemies and crushing them when the tower became full-sized. So I had a bag of beans, which is a bag of magic beans that you have to roll a D100 on, and you roll for effect, basically. And I rolled a Mummy Lord's Pyramid, and it crushed the monster we were fighting, but then we had to go fight the Mummy Lord, which was pretty easy. Our DM was a young man, 17, 18, who wasn't very good at scaling things up yet. I hope he got better. What he did is he rolled for one of my favorite characters back in my 20s was Shana Katana Steel. Every time she could get into a battle, she would say, I see you have scheduled yourself for surgery. Oh, I like that. That's funny. He rolls for, we kill the Mummy Lord. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I like that. I have a kind of reborn death cleric doctor, Dominion of Death, that I might use that line. But he rolls loot. One of our characters gets like a wind fan, like Tauntaun or whatever her name is from Naruto, with the big fan. And he rolls, looks at me, and says, "You're a lucky son of a." He says, "You're a lucky son of a bitch," because he rolled this for me. A luck blade with 3 wish charges. Wish is the most, I know Div probably doesn't know this. Wish is just what it says. You get to cast a spell, and if you succeed, you get to make a wish. He gave me a luck blade with 1 luck charge, which for a monk with key points is already overpowered, and 3 wishes. I could have broken the game, but I'm like, he's a kid. Let's not do that. Yeah. And I think, and with his inexperience, I think I could have probably got away with a lot. We lasted maybe 1 or 2 more games before we kind of went our separate ways. But it's, to me, D&D is the perfect game. It can be whatever you want. It's a basic game. The gaming system's basic enough that you can play either super experienced or super basic. And you can be whatever you want. I have so many great memories. And I'm actually trying to get back, find a local table to go back to. he it's just so much fun. See, I had let me bring that up. Let me bring up Dothek's character sheet. Let me let's see my characters. Let me lift it up a bit. Oh, there it is. Nope. I got to level 14 before our game ended. Let's see. Share screen. See, his strength, he had +2 strength, but due to he had a straight dexterity of 22 due to let's see what else. I had the luck blade, the manual of quickness, and I think it's that high because that was the last time I used it. But he had the bag of beans, which I talked about. See, it has all the spell effects, bracers of defense, which is another reason why my defense was up that high. I had a tonfa as my basic monk weapon. The gloves of missile snaring, which I didn't have. The goggles of night, because at the time we were going through a lot of stuff. The movable rod, of course, you got to have the movable rod. Wing boots. The wing boots. Oh, I kind of abused these a little bit. I'll admit. Like there was one where we're going through a pyramid, the mummy's tomb, and I go down a hall just floating, not paying attention to the time limit. And darts, the dwarf necklace, which was custom, But I had key points, patient defense, flurry of blows, step of the wind, deflect missiles. What did I have on my? What else? Equipment. I took the pistol from the. Yeah, it's changed a lot. I took the pistol from the bandit who tried to shoot me. I took Clan Crafter for the connection with the dwarves. But like you can see, he was hard initiative +6. He was fucking hard to hit. By this point, I'm level 14. It was the highest I got. By that point, I was fucking hard to hit. But he was so much fun. Oh my god, he was so much fun. So yeah, that's Dothek in a nutshell. He was crazy. We played Dragon Heist, and in Dragon Heist, you have the option to take the Troll Skull Manor, either sell it or turn it into like a pub, a hotel, and stuff. We turned it into a hotel. Me, what's up? We're just talking some Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons. And we befriended the ghost. You have the option to either befriend the ghost that haunts the manor or exercise it. We chose to befriend the ghost, this group, and we turned him into a bartender. And we called the bar, the pub, the Open Grave, due to having a ghost as a bartender. And it allowed us to grant money, but it also gave us like a 3-story base of operations in Waterdeep, which we were playing Dragon Heist. And it was a lot of fun. I missed the group but I don't miss the kid's crazy mom fucking threatening to shoot me when she didn't like how I played. But Dungeons and Dragons and like making miniatures, that's my stress relief. That's how I helps me keep my autism in check. You know what I mean? I'm even working on a Deadlands um, a Deadlands campaign based off the movie McClintock, the John Wayne Maureen O'Hara movie McClintock, and Deadlands is another um, gaming system that I really want to play. It uses the Weird West system. It's kind of an alternate Old West with ghosts, monsters, magics. Basically, the story is during the Civil War, all the shamans from all the Indian tribes got together and cast this curse that just basically like broke open the spirit world and changed the face of the Civil War era, the United States during the Civil War. And it has steampunk, it has magic, it has monsters. Oh, Kaiser, that sounds like a cool one. This one I'm gonna call it The Madness of McClintock. And it's gonna deal with like ghosts and zombies and all sorts of kind of monster stuff like that, set in the town of McClintock from the movie. And I have some ideas for it. I'm trying to write it out, but that's what I'm working on. And in my spare time, I'm still working on my novel. And got some good ideas coming from that. But so we've been going for about 2 hours now. So I think we're calling it here. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to make this little tradition and end this with a joke. Tonight's joke is: what does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say? It says, "Beat it, we're closed." Remember, I love you all. And as I always say, find your passion and nerd out about it. Oh, shit, I'm almost messed up. I forgot this. Okay, where'd it go? There it is. I see you in Discord, Div. Thank you all for coming here. So, like I was saying, find your passion and nerd out about it. I'm Nerd of the Outpost. Love you guys. I'm gone.
Lost in space, I found my beliefs. In this outpost of silent tonight rain. Binary code run through my veins. With every beat and beat, I feel no pain. Signing off, it's time to go. Goodbye, my nerdy friends, see you later. I know through the stars we've shared this ride, but now it's time to say goodbye.